Namaste, my dear friends. Now I am referring to you under the import procedure. If the goods are imported by the importer, instead of clearing for home consumption, he can request the Commissioner of Customs to warehouse the goods. In that case, one should know the warehousing procedure. Basically, my dear friends, there are three types of warehousing. One is private warehousing, public warehousing, and special warehousing. Section 57 deals with public warehousing, meaning what? The warehousing under the custody of the Central Warehousing Authority. Private warehousing is licensed warehouses, which is if you have sufficient space and buildings to safeguard the goods. In that case, you can approach Commissioner of the Customs for the want of license to operate as private warehouse. If the once license is granted, you are allowed to warehouse the goods. The goods which is imported by the importer, not cleared for home consumption, but they want to clear the goods to warehouse. First priority will go to public warehouse to warehouse the goods. If there is no public warehouse, or there is a public warehouse but there is no sufficient space available in the public warehouse, the next best priority goes to private warehousing to warehouse the goods. And the importer whose goods has been warehoused supposed to pay warehousing charges. There are warehousing charges which will attract the GST and eligible to avail input tax credit. Similar to that, one more warehouse is there called as special warehousing, which is obviously carries special provisions, namely public warehouse, section 57, section 58, private warehouse, section 58 capital A of Customs Act 1962, which talks about special warehousing. Exact difference between the public warehouse, private warehouse, comparing with the special warehouse. Public warehouse, private warehouse, there is no physical control by the Department of Customs. It is the responsibility of the in charge of the warehouse to ensure that while clearing the goods from warehouse for home consumption, ensure that in charge of the warehouse should make the payment. In charge of the warehouse can permit the importer to verify their goods, and the importer can bring their buyers to show the stock available in the warehouse for the sale purpose, and all can be dealt by interacting with the in charge of the warehouse. Whereas when you come to special warehousing, it is not so. It is fully under the control of the Department of Customs. You cannot enter in that special warehouse just like that unless permission granted by the Department of Customs, and the customs officer will accompany the importer to show the goods inside. What is there? What type of goods is to be warehoused? In this special warehouse, only notified goods. What are those notified goods? Means gold, silver, other precious metals and semi-precious metals and articles thereof, followed by the goods which is going to be sold from duty-free shops, such type of perfumes, cloth, goggles, wallet, the wearing apparel, like that. The precious items also can be warehoused in a special warehouse if the goods are meant for selling through duty-free shops of international airport or port, or otherwise the goods belongs to foreign ambassadors, foreign privileged persons, generally foreign embassy, foreign ambassadors. Such persons' goods can be warehoused in a special warehousing, which is only by notification can be permitted, fully under the control of the Department of Customs. The law is with the department, warehouse, special warehouse law. Whereas public warehouse, private warehouse, it is not full control owned by the Department of Customs. Customs said, hey, Mr. in charge of the warehouse, you are responsible to ensure the importer should make the payment of import duty when clearing the goods from the warehouse. Once license granted, is going to be cancelled? Yes. If the licensee, the warehouse in charge, is not comply the provisions of the customs law, in that case, are misusing, trying to cause revenue losses, license will be plugged back. If the license has been cancelled to a particular private warehouse by giving an opportunity of being here, the further no stuffing of the goods into that warehouse takes place. However, whatever the goods has been stuffed before cancellation of license, in that case, that goods will be strictly follow the warehousing procedure. Further, if the goods want to remove from the warehouse, where the warehouse license has been cancelled, permitted to remove the goods and warehouse into the another warehouse is permissible, but no furthermore warehousing into that particular private warehouse where the license has been cancelled does not arise. Means not further stuffing is allowed because cancellation of warehousing taking place. License, where the license issued under section 57 public warehousing or section 58 private warehousing or section 58 kept lay special warehousing. These are the licenses well possible to cancel. Generally, public warehousing, special warehousing strictly will follow the norms. But if they are not followed, obviously license will be cancelled even for the public warehousing, even for the special warehousing, not only for the private warehousing. If it is license has been cancelled, the goods warehoused shall within 7 days from the date on which such cancellation is served on the licensee or with such extended period of time by the proper officer may allow to remove from such warehouse and to another warehouse the goods at the same time before cancellation, whatever the goods has been stuffed in that for which warehousing procedure will apply. When you warehouse the goods, you have to execute a bond. This I will present like this, my dear friends. Here, section 59 of the Customs Act 1962 specifically demand you have to execute a bond. Security or without security depends upon the risk of the importer. Based on that, Department of Customs will decide. Now, what is the bond? What value of the bond? For example, I imported goods worth rupees 20 lakhs, which is assessable value, means valuation done. Valuation done means what? This should be CIF value, which is in Indian rupees. That means what? How you got CIF value? The CIF value of the foreign currency, let us say for example, CIF value denominated in the US dollars, multiply with exchange rate. Which exchange rate here? Very important. Exchange rate of CBIC at the time of submission of mother bill of entry, which is yellow color bill of entry. When I submit the bill of entry, what for? For warehousing the goods. I am making a request. I am submitting bill of entry. White color bill of entry, which denotes goods meant for home consumption without clearing for warehousing. Now, imported goods I want to warehouse. I should execute a bond. I should execute a bill of entry. I should submit the bill of entry. Yellow color bill of entry, which denotes goods meant for warehousing. If so, in that case, at the time of submission of that main bill of entry, namely mother bill of entry, exchange rate available, what? By the declared by CBIC. Exchange rate of the CBIC at the time of submission of yellow color bill of entry for warehousing. That time, that exchange rate of the CBIC relevant. We got it, sir. Then, in that case, that output finally is this. So, why I given so much importance means, my dear friends, once the goods assessed for duty purpose during the tenure of warehousing period, reassessment not possible. And even though assessment incorrect during the tenure of warehousing, reassessment not permissible. This value we derived as 20 lakhs. Very good. If so, on the 20 lakhs, there may be duty of customs. There is BCD. There is a social welfare surcharge. There may be IGST, which all put together, we came to know that, let us say, 2,50,000. That is what we worked out. At the time of import, the duty is levied. The amount comes to rupees 2,50,000, which I am now paying now. I am deferring the payment of duties. The duties I am deferred to future period. Thereby, I can able to safeguard my goods into the warehouse even after importation, and I can pay at a later date when I am going to clear the goods from the warehouse. Now, the point comes, if you go to warehouse, why import the goods? Somebody will ask, sir, I import the goods because my exporter selling the goods in bulk. If I purchase more discount is giving. If I purchase less, so expensive for me. Therefore, I purchase the goods in a lot, wholesale manner. Wholesale price lesser than the retail price, as you are aware of that. In that manner, I purchase the huge quantity. I cannot able to stuff the goods into my warehouse in my premises of factory, which is space constraint. At the same time, the carrying cost of this particular warehouse is far lesser than the carrying cost at my premises. For obvious reasons, I can request for warehousing. In that case, defer to future period what? To pay the duties. In that case, department says you now execute a bond with security. What is the value of the bond? Now the law here says that your duty to be levied 2,50,000 multiplied by 3 times of your duty is called as bond value. Thrice the amount of the duty. 7,50,000. Thrice the amount. That is important to know. One can expect in the examination. Thrice the amount of the duty. Bond. Bond plus yellow color bill of entry. Yellow color bill of entry. This bill of entry I am submitting along with the bond. Therefore, we call together we call here, my dear, yellow color bill of entry plus bond with the security we called as technically into bond bill of entry. What do you mean by into? Into means into, entering into warehouse, for which bond is executed, bill of entry submitted. Into bond bill of entry. At the time of submission of the into bond bill of entry, what is the exchange rate of the CBIC is relevant to convert into Indian rupees the CF value of the foreign currency. Once the assessment is completed, reassessment during the tenure of warehousing period does not permit. We came to know the bond with the security to submit, and absolutely the bond execution I referred to you in the case of a refund case, and in case of a provisional assessment, when we refer under section 60 of the CGST Act, provisional assessment, execution of bond with the security, bond should be in favor of the President of India, then all execute a bank guarantee for that, and all will common. Same you can be considered here as such. Good. Into bond bill of entry. Now we submit it for the warehousing the goods. Commissioner of Customs verified. Okay, you want to warehouse the goods? You want to warehouse in a private warehouse? Okay, we permit. You are willing to warehouse the private warehouse? Go ahead. Goods can be stuffed. See, procedure remains same. Private warehouse, public warehouse, or special warehouse. But special warehouse is a special nature. Very precious, costly items are there. Therefore, the law is in the hands of the Department of Customs. Customs Department only will open the log to permit to refer the goods, and Customs Department only will open the log to clear the goods by collecting the payment from the importer. That is separate situation. But the procedure remains same to warehouse. Now, once you understand this particular concept, section 59, we got it now. Further, now goods where it is available in the warehouse. How much worth of the goods? It is 20 lakhs worth of the goods. It may be number of units, am I right? If it is in terms of units kept here, let us say 200 units of air conditioned machines, for example.